Ralph Isernia is the head football coach at RPI. They are off to a good start. They're rolling week one over Allegheny 40-19. The Engineers unbeaten in season openers under Ralph Isernia at 6-0. So off to a good start and ranked 24th in Division III right now going into the home opener, which is against WPI this weekend. And the head coach joins us here on Big Board Sports 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Ralph, Roger Weiland, Chris Honorato, good morning.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Coach. And I guess 40-19, good way to get things rolling. And you looked at the tape there, and what did you see? What did you like? And I'm sure there's always some correctables going into the next week.
Well, you guys know all about football, so that's exactly it. You know, first of all, we had it was a long trip all the way out to Western Pennsylvania, and you know, we faced some adversity with the weather and with the trip. It was unseasonably warm in Western Pennsylvania this time of year, and you know, it felt like it was over 100 degrees on the turf. But our guys battled through that. You know, it was a good Allegheny team. Gave us some issues defensively. That a really dynamic slot receiver. But our guys they fought tough and. You know, overcome some mistakes, some penalties, and everything to get the win. We had some really good pass rush from our defensive line, and you know, Rob Law, George Marinopoulos, those guys stepped up for us on the offensive side.
Yeah, and you know me, Coach. I love the local stuff, and let's go there because Guilderland's George Marinopoulos was 14 of 27, 255. And a touchdown, one pick, and then on defense, you talk about your defense, Sean Egan from Shaker makes 9 tackles and forced a fumble, and he's co-defensive performer of the week in the Liberty League. So couple of the 5-1-8 guys coming through for you big time.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that local flavor on our team, and certainly our number one priority when we're recruiting is to hit our backyard, you know, really hard. There's a lot of talent, great coaching here in Section 2. So we want to make sure we keep those guys at home.
What is it about George Marinopoulos and his development at the quarterback spot, Coach?
You know, we had talked about this, you know, last year, especially with Chris as well, about George coming in. We thought we had something special with him coming in with the type of offense that they play over at Guilderland. So there was a lot of carryover, a lot of familiarity with some of the stuff we did. We thought it was a matter of time that we can get him in and get him some meaningful game reps. And, you know, that's what we did about midway through the season. And, you know, he's really settled in to leadership position. He understands what we're trying to do offensively. He's like having another coach on the field where he can get us, you know, maybe out of a wrong play and get us right. So, you know, like I used to say about me, he's like my mom's marinara sauce. He covers up a lot of mistakes.
Even if it's not al dente enough. Coach Isernia with us here, RPI football head coach on Big Board Sports 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Coach, WPI this Saturday at noon. It's the home opener, and as Roger mentioned, it's one of the longest rivalries in college football. The 112th meeting coming up this Saturday. It's a rivalry that dates back all the way to 1894. Mm-hmm. They are also the Engineers. This is the Transit Trophy game. What does WPI present in terms of challenges this season?
Well, you know, they're a team that's coming off of a postseason win. So they were 9-2 last season, and you know, they return a lot of guys on both sides of the ball. They've got the special teams player of the year in the Numac, who's coming back for them as their kicker. They run to the football on defense. They've got a really good defensive end, Cesarini, that we've got to account for on offense. You know, with their offense, they've got a very talented running back in McGowan, who's pretty dynamic. You can't give him a crease. You can't give him any breathing room, or else you know, he can make it hurt. But you know, for us, it's really taking care of us, taking care of the football, and really running our offense and our defense the way that we can. And you know, you mentioned about the rivalry, and you know, this is one of the 2 trophy games that we play every year. That's something that's not lost on our guys. And The other thing that we're looking at is it's been 308 days since we played a home game, a home football game, and our home cooking has been pretty good to us over the years. The last loss that we had was in 2016, and that was in the trophy game, the Transit Trophy game against WPI. So that's something that our guys, certainly have on their radar right now.
And Ralph, they're just you have no consecutive home games right on the schedule this year until the final 2 games of the regular season when you bring in St. Lawrence and then the Dutchman Shoes game.
That's correct. Yep.
Well, you know what? Take advantage of it.
We need to talk to Dr. Lee McElroy at the scheduling here. That's what we need to do.
Too many road games, right? But listen, you play well in that opener on the road in some difficult conditions for sure. And it looks like do you make much? Like when you see, hey, we're the 24th ranked team in Division III, does that mean anything to you and the players?
Well, that's kind of a difficult thing for you to you can't really shut the door on that. And, guys see that, guys know all about that. Especially this day and age, they understand. You're getting some recognition. Certainly, it's nice to have that recognition, especially from where we started back in 2013. It's been kind of a gradual build-up, and it's building the team and also building the culture. Our guys understand that. But the bigger picture is it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So it's nice having that recognition, and people think you're doing some really good things, but it's sustaining that over a long period of time. And certainly since we've been here with 4 consecutive postseason games and 2 of the last 3 years winning a share of the conference, that's something that our guys look at and put a whole lot more credence in that, rather than a number or ranking.
Well, and I tell you what, you've earned it and you build it, Ralph. And when you start winning consistently, I know the recruiting trails are a whole lot easier, aren't they?
Well, they are, and you're trying to get the best and the brightest all across the country, and we nationally recruit, and we're trying to get guys that want engineering, want business, and want a great academic curriculum that RPI offers. So the name recognition itself, as far as university, makes it a little bit easier to recruit, and then certainly having a culture here that guys want to be a part of. So that's something that we've really built on, and with our coaching staff, and I know Jeff Dittman, he's our defensive coordinator and our and our recruiting coordinator, so he keeps us on our toes and who we're looking at and trying to get here to RPI.
Coach Dittman, one of the bright young coaches. You could see that when he was across the way at the University at Albany, and I'm glad he's gotten the chance that he has with you, Coach, and has really settled in. You've got a good one. I'm sure your defense is pretty darn good.
They are, and we're flying to the football, and he's really taken over and created a swarming defense where I think we're really fast on that side of the ball. He's done a great job with that, and we've got 2 other coordinators that are new with us as well. Nick Marcella, who's taken over the offense, and also Keith Larson, who's working our special teams, and both of them have done tremendous jobs. And you see standouts on all 3 sides of the ball.
Well, you got a lot of good things happening. Off to a great start, Coach. We wish you the best of luck on Saturday. It's a noon game against WPI at home. Go get them, and we'll talk to you next home game.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for everything you guys do for college football and also local sports.